baby.
Jesus,
Well,
fine.
that makes sense then. Okay.
Jesus, fine. God damn.
God damn it, fine. Suck it. Speaking of suck it, why don't you say we start the show? It's a Mind Sports Show. We talk the latest and the greatest, all things New England sports, with a couple laughs in between here and there if you haven't caught on. What did we say we do some opening takes? Ray, seeing as you were so goddamn forceful about this one today in the text chain, why don't you kick us off with your opening take?
First and foremost, all I said.
First of all, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for how fucking big of a doozy this is going to be and how much of a flip-flopper your ass is about to be from last week.
Well, get ready for the flip-flopping because it all started with Eli Manning forcing his way out of the Chargers, going to the Giants, and now Damian Lillard is the new athlete doing his way to get what he wants and go down to Miami because his agent called 28 other fucking teams and, oh, God, I hate you already, and said, it's Miami or bust. You're going to get an unhappy player if you try to trade for this guy. The money still doesn't work because Miami can't afford him, you fucking dink.
Oh.
But basically, I'm sick of these diva athletes demanding where they go. Pretty much play where you're fucking playing. If you get a better deal, if you get traded, that's where you go play. I'm sick of this. Just fucking go where you're supposed to go. I hate you. I hate you so fucking much.
Sorry
You're
to hijack
stupid.
that opening take. It was a good rant. There's two problems with this. Number one, you flip-flopped, and I was not going to let you pass that one by. And secondly, Damian Lillard's probably like the last guy to get on about forcing his way. He's played in that shit-run organization for over 10 years. And
I understand that.
And this year was like, I'll stay.
He needs to do what he's told.
They drafted a point guard.
So what does he want? But what does he want? Does he want to win a championship or does he just want to go play with his boys down in
No, I
Miami?
get it. The overall sentiment of today's modern athlete and the power that they have, specifically in the NBA, is annoying. The whole LeBron era of super teams was annoying. I get that. I'm with you on the rant. Totally. And yeah, Damian Lillard's fallen into that now. It's just like he did spend over a decade in Portland sucking it up. And now he's trying to pick and choose his way down to Miami.
But you're on contract for 3 more years. It's like, and you have no trade clause. Sorry, dude. Fucking nut up. If you get traded to fucking Utah because they have the best assets for you, you're going to Utah.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into the whole Dame situation. So we'll save that for the show. Lots of questions there. Obviously, we'll keep it Boston centric and go from there. But I'll take the next one, our second segment of the show, which we're going to go hockey. The NHL free agency started over last weekend, and the Bruins. Well, Don Sweeney sucks again. He had 18 or so months of can't miss. I said it on this show. He can't miss. He had every move was working out right for him. His team let him down in the first round of the playoffs, and now he just goes right back to the suck. We knew they're up against the cap, and that's fine. But Jesus Christ, some of the moves that he didn't make are more glaring than some of the moves that he made. We'll go over everyone that he brought in, everyone that's sticking around, the guys that left, and what that team looks like now moving forward into this season coming up. But God, he sucks again. He's dug himself a hole. There's a couple prospects that are coming up. Not really. So I don't know. Sweeney's back on the short list after the greatest season in NHL regular season hockey, and every move working out for him for close to 18 months. Just immediately put him back himself in the doghouse and dug himself another fucking hole. We'll see how he can climb out of it.
Can I quickly ask you a hockey-related question when you have that topic?
Bobby?
Are
you talking to Bobby?
No, you.
I'd be happy to answer a question regarding hockey.
No, this is more to Rich. The sound you made of, is that the sound that Bobby's mother makes after you take off that blouse?
Unbelievable, Ray. You're so proud of yourself. Look at you.
Bobby, seeing as you're in the other room next to us, why don't you answer that question and give us your opening take? Seeing as you're in your race car, seeing as you're sitting Indian style in your race car bed in the room next door, please take it away.
Thank you. I'd be happy to. Celtics clearly have an off-season plan. They've tried to retool their roster. I think they're forgetting one thing. They need a point guard. They haven't had one really for like a decade. I mean, was Marcus Smart really a point guard? He just kind of played the position, but they actually haven't had an actual matchup point guard in, I don't know. I can't remember the last one. You could say maybe Isaiah Thomas when he was there, but it's a position that they need to address. They've now addressed their front line, but I don't see if Lillard's not there, how they're going to get a starting point guard that's going to be able to be someone that is competitive for them without trading Brown to bring in that player. But right now, starting point guard, glaring hole.
There may be a conspiracy theory. Rumor has it that could bring that point guard to Boston. And dare I say, maybe the last one was. Sorry,
I was gonna say Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving.
I forgot about him.
Do raging cunts count as assholes? Question old as time. We'll get into all of that. Show rundown, doing the Celtics offseason, all of those questions you two brought up. We'll get into Sweeney Sucks again. Take a look at the roster as it stands for the Bruins. And then a nice would you rather, a nice lengthy would you rather section.
I like those questions.
Thank you.
Very good.
You.
Some of them were solid.
Thank you. Sorry, Bobby. Not all of them. Ray is very excited about this. Per usual, Bobby's not completely satisfied. Unlike his mother. Welcome to Semi Sports Show Friday Rewind. July 8th. No?
Very good.
7th.
Yeah, this is Thursday. All right.
Hi, baby.
Whatever. On your favorite podcast genre. What is it called? What would a podcast medium?
Sports genre?
Medium.
Yeah, however you listen to podcasts.
Application.
That's how they say it. However you listen to podcasts, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, tell your mothers. Simple Mind Sports Show. Tell them about Shank It Golf. Go to shankitgolf.com. Get 15% off your entire order with the promo code Simple Minds. Ray is sporting his classic black and white titties hat with that really classy white rope around the brim there. Titties like Titleist.
I saw a golf hat that a guy had that it just said in that same writing, cocaine and hookers. And I thought of Ray.
I think about Bill if I saw that, but I get it. That works too with the golf hat.
That's right.
That's a lot of letters to get on the front of a hat.
That's a lot, yeah.
It was it
top,
it looked
bottom?
well, and you could read. They were big enough that you could read it from a distance away.
Did the O's and hookers have 2 dots to represent nipples?
No, it was just all. It was a classy look on the hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
I'll tell you what, this guy looked like he was into cocaine and hookers, though. He definitely looked like the type of guy that would be down for that shit.
It wasn't the hat that gave it away.
Yes, and then also when you look at the guy, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That adds up. That guy likes to. He's got an image. He's going with it. Let's get back into this Celtics talk. Before we get back to the Dame Lillard, let's go back a little bit to what Bobby was talking about, kind of the roster construction. The latest big news from Celtics land is Grant Williams traded, speaking of Kyrie, down to Dallas for a handful of second-round picks and what is basically all but a salary dump, really. I got 4 years, $54 million guaranteed. That's $13 million. Anyone keeping count, that's $7 million less than he said he was going to get on the open market before he got benched by Joey Maz this year. So kudos to you there, Grant Williams, betting on yourself. 4 years, $54 million. I pose this question. So Grant Williams is out the door. Malcolm Brogdon's still here. He may be the next one to go if they're really trying to get that salary down, but let's say he's
What'd you say? They're trying to get what?
Let's save that for a second here, Ray. Take my question. Let's say they're not. Would you rather have Malcolm Brogdon's team or Grant Williams?
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams at 13 million or Brogdon at 22?
Grant Williams.
I think that's right. I mean, Brogdon seems like he's one more injury away from just being a guy that's never heard from.
Grant Williams at that number is fair.
Yeah,
as a role player for this team that he knows his role, absolutely, I'd bring back Grant Williams in a heartbeat.
So, is it fair to say this is the first chink in Brad's armor? Is he following Don Sweeney's steps? He's had a 18-month run that we can't really complain about, done really, really well, and now whether it's so, I'll jump right into it. I don't know if they're trying to cut money, Ray, and trying to get under a cap. They're certainly not going to get under the cap.
It's that second tax.
Well, it's $82 million for the second apron, which nobody wants to get over because you basically can't build a team after that unless you go get Damian Lillard on the Celtics with Jaylen Brown and Tatum and Porzingis and Rob Williams. Like, no other team wants to do that.
No.
It's the second tax line that maybe they're trying to get under, and they're $12 million away from it right now, are the Celtics. So maybe that's the case. I guess they'd save some money, but it doesn't. It helps them a little bit in roster building. I'd be disappointed if that was their goal this season, is to shed salary to get below that first apron. That would be a disappointment. No?
I think they did this. I think they got rid of Grant Williams because of Joey Maz. I think Joey Maz and Grant Williams didn't get along. You could see that during the season, even the postseason, the shit that was going on, they weren't getting along. So I think this is more of a Brad talking to Joey Maz and Joey Maz saying, hey, if I can keep one, I'd rather have Brogdon here. Even though that Brogdon was on his way out the door for Porzingis earlier, but the medical records and all that shit got fucked up because the Clippers didn't get it in time for the trade to go through. But I think the ultimate goal was to get rid of both of them, but Brogdon's still here just because the injury history.
I'd like to think that it's hopefully because of a long-term roster construction plan that they're going to be bringing in somebody else and that Grant Williams just doesn't fit in that future anymore. I mean, he kind of doesn't fit the way that they play. He's not a bad player, but the way that they want to play, he isn't necessarily like a fit for it. And maybe they could be, now they've acquired some picks. Maybe they're going to try and package some picks and get a better player that they're going to try and fit in their rotation. So I would hope that it has something to do with that.
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of in the vein where I'm thinking about, and I'm going to take it a little bit bigger. I think ownership is driving this, and not just from a financial standpoint. That's probably part of it because it always is from ownership. But we know the report after they were down 0-3 against Miami, Wick or someone from ownership basically walked into the locker room and called them all pussies and hated the way that they looked.
That guy.
Yeah, he's now watched this team crumble under pressure for the last 3 seasons with expectations high. Before that, they were kind of underdogs on their way up. But the last 3 seasons, 2021 was a major disappointment from a regular season standpoint. They completely underachieved. 2022, they mentally fell apart in the NBA Finals against an inferior team in the Warriors. And then obviously this year, going down 0-3 to an inferior team in Miami and then getting punked at home in Game 7. Would you be surprised if Wick kind of came into Brad's office and was like, hey, don't you feel like it's time for a little bit of a mix up here? Some of these personalities, some of this team's not working. Shake it up. And I don't think Brad was afraid to do it. I think he probably saw the writing on the wall too. Grant Williams, a loud, boisterous, demonstrative guy in the locker room. You're gone. Marcus Smart, the quote unquote soul of the team, heart and soul of the team, biggest voice on the team, de facto captain in the way of your actual 2 captains. Bye-bye, you're gone. Malcolm Brogdon spouting off in the playoffs about his coach not doing the right things. You're trying to get shipped out you'd be gone if you weren't injured. They're shipping these guys out, for a change of scene in the locker room and really putting on the plate of Brown and Tatum. Right now, all those moves seem like they're trying to get under the cap. So I'm with you, Bobby. I would hope that they follow it up with some significant moves to fill that roster out. Adam Hittumsback had a article this week that said, number 1, they're out on Dame, which you can get you after this. But number 2, with all of these second-round picks, which are not just fodder anymore, they're actually valuable in the NBA, the way the CBA is. With all these picks, with some TPEs, with maybe if they get into the cap, some cap maneuvering that they have, they're set up to make a significant, I don't forget the word he used, something like a significant trade either now or in the near future, which I would hope would be the case.
Clickbait material because we all read it and he doesn't say who it is or what it is or when it's going to come, but it's going to happen.
He actually says not.
Hold
not
on. Are you now against clickbait? You hypocritical bastard.
No,
I have it in writing
saying that.
Like clickbait.
I do love clickbait.
Again, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I like clickbait.
Flip-flopping son of a bitch, Ray. I can see
unbelievable
from here. Any final thoughts on that, the roster construction there? And just to add to it, we're talking free agency. Two names came into town. Delano Banton, a 6'9" point guard. He's listed. I think he played with Toronto last, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
And this O'Shea Brissett, who as a depth piece, I'm at kind of high on. He was with Indiana and had some his career game against the Celtics actually, and he's a small forward. He's probably the type of depth that you want behind Tatum and Brown that we've been asking for the last couple of years. So they did make some moves to fill out the roster. They got a couple more left, and signing guys to these 2-way deals so they don't hurt the cap. So
I also like that kid they drafted too. He seems like he's doing pretty good in camp right now.
Oh, Villanueva 2.0.
Yeah.
The cancer
don't let
guy?
Garnett. Don't ask Garnett about him.
Yeah.
No.
Ward, what's his name?
Josh Wallace or something like that. Is it Wallace?
Something like that. Yeah. They were already calling the Marcus Smart 2.0 after Marcus left town. Grit and hustle, baby. Can't shoot for shit, Grit and hustle.
Isn't particularly good at basketball, but he tries.
Jordan Walsh.
Thank you. Yeah. You're gonna love him, Boston. He sucks, but he runs hard.
Puts in a shift.
So he's got to retire his number now.
Yeah, right. So there's your team as it stands. It does feel like something's in the hopper. So let's start here. Jaylen Brown is not signed left yet. Why is that? They're supposed to meet in Vegas this weekend or something with Summer League starting. I guess he's there. Jaylen Brown's there doing some event. They're supposed to talk. I'll give you a couple reasons why he might not sign. Are the Celtics offering the full max, the full 35% of the salary? Is Jaylen Brown trying to put in stipulations to get out of it? Like a player option in year 3 or year 2? Are they just not quite on the same side, on the same page in terms of what the contract language is supposed to say? Windhurst was on ESPN talking about it this week, saying, there are pieces of this contract, massive 5-year, $300 million contract that are negotiable around the fringes, which is really important. If you're the Celtics and you sign a guy for 5 years, $300 million, we've seen it. We just saw it with Brad Beal. He just signed the max extension. Then a year later, he forced his way out of town. It's kind of the MO, right, of what you ranted about in the opening take. These guys forcing their way out after getting the big money paychecks. I think the Celtics are doing their due diligence to see if that's a case here and how can they protect themselves and maybe put Jaylen Brown back in the trade talk conversations. Do with that what you will. You want to bring it to Dame? You want to take it somewhere else? We got an Atlanta Hawks theory in the email. Raymond, I throw it over to you.
I honestly wonder because I thought July 1st was the day for him to go and sign. Thought it would already be done by now. I mean, you're getting paid, man. That's a Supermax deal. You'll be one of the richest players in Celtics history after this deal is signed. Obviously, Tatum will trump that next year, but as a young kid, why wouldn't you go get that? Why wouldn't this already be in place? So I think, like you're saying, there is some hiccups that's going along with the wording of this contract. And if maybe he wants an out so he can get traded to where his destination that he wants to go, because all along we've said that this guy isn't a beta, he's an alpha. He wants to be the lead dog in the doghouse. He was the smartest guy in the room.
I don't know if he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is either, but I think he thinks in his mind and his people around him are telling that he is. So I think you're going to sign this massive deal, and then next year, bye-bye, I'm out pulling a Bradley Beal.
There's another one of those words where it's like alpha, beta, like omega, where it's like where they want to be the alpha, but they can't be. There's another word for it. I don't remember what it is. But
masturbator. Which one was it? Pussy or masturbator? I think it was masturbator.
Excellent.
Well done, Ray. That was better than mine.
With Brown, I mean, first of all, he might not be being treated correctly, so therefore he won't sign yet. So that's part of it. You got to remember, Jaylen Brown's a principled man.
All right, you're being sarcastic because fuck you, Jaylen.
Yeah,
Brown.
he was being sarcastic. Come on,
he's a principled man. Okay, so he would wait. He doesn't need his money yet.
Classic.
But from a roster construction standpoint, with Tatum at one forward level, Porzingis at the other forward level, you don't need Tatum and Brown. And I think you move Jaylen and you get someone at the other guard level, and then you have 3 of your best players at all 3 levels. I think that makes the most sense. If the deal isn't there, you keep them because you need to keep the best asset. But I think the best thing for the Celtics to do is to get a guard.
Let's talk about those situations. Before we do that, that would dick Jaylen Brown out of so much money, which is why it's not going to happen. If he got traded this offseason, he can't go sign a supermax with a new team next year. So
no superstar would ever come to the Celtics in free agency ever again.
Probably not. So I don't think he's going to get dealt.
Unless it's a sign and trader.
They can't
trade him for a year if he signs a supermax.
A
year from
that's the whole hiccup. So I think that's why they don't want to lose the asset.
So that's the deal.
Everyone in their hands to be able to send. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Everyone talking about Jaylen Brown getting traded for. So elephant in the room. The Hawks created this massive $25 million TPE, which I have now a developing take on who that could be from the Celtics. Spoiler alert: Brogdon for nothing. But you would have to trade Jaylen Brown on his existing contract, which would eliminate the chance of him getting that bag. So it is very conspicuous why he has not signed that yet. And yeah, it would not go over well in the NBA if the Celtics traded him, but if they would have to make it very, very, very public that he made it very, very clear that the Celtics are not in his long-term future. Like, they would have to make that very clear that he does not look forward to playing here past this season, and he's strictly signing this deal and then looking to move on. So we have to get out in front of that and trade him first. And someone made this on the radio. Someone made this great point today. Like, this may come back on Brad and say, you were late to the party on this. You could have traded Brown at the deadline for way back when. You could have got Kawhi Leonard. You could have got Kawhi Leonard the year he went on and won the championship for Toronto, was the best player in the league. Or you could have got Durant more recently last year. You could have got Durant at the deadline. And they stuck with Jaylen Brown all this time, and he continues to show signs that he just doesn't want to fucking be here. So I've turned on this. I've always been just keep him, but that Atlanta deal, if you can get Trae Young and maybe another piece, I might just do it. The roster looks better. I don't like Trae Young terribly as a player, but
I don't Trae Young. Ugh.
He's averaged 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and 28 points a game for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but like, are those assists actually meaningful, or are they like Westbrook assists?
He's led the league in assists for 5 straight seasons. They made the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. He shut up Madison Square Garden. The dude's got balls. He beat you with a 30-footer. He wrecks the Celtics. I'm with you. I don't like his rat hair in his small frame, and he doesn't look like a player that
I can't deal with him, Trae Young, and Porzingis on the floor at the first time. I don't want to have to look at that. So fuck that deal.
Actually, the other guy is Dame.
You're bitching. Wait, but Bobby's been bitching about getting a point guard on his team. Why wouldn't you want to get?
Don't point out fall season my fucking argument, Ray. I hate that. Don't do it.
Sorry. Apologies.
He's probably the best you could get, whether the Hawks want to do him or not. What about a DeJounte Murray and like a Sadiq Bey for Jaylen Brown? Does DeJounte Murray play?
He just got traded, didn't he?
No, it was over a year ago.
He just signed.
Does he fit the point guard mold? He's more of a 2-guard too, isn't he?
I think he's a 2.
Yeah, he's a 2-guard.
There's not a lot of true point guards in the league anymore.
No,
if you think about it.
Oh, DeJounte Murray just finalized a 4-year, $112 million extension with Atlanta
when he got there, which was over a year ago.
No, this is right now.
No, he just did it
right
today.
now.
Today, right now.
No shit. No, fuck me, right? All right, well, he's off. Celtics are probably done. They're not going to move. Hibblesback. He also came out and said the Celtics were out, capital O, capital U, capital T, out on Damian Lillard. Mark Spears came out and said Jason Tatum was full on recruiting Damian Lillard. Stephen A. Smith said the Celtics want Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard wants absolutely nothing to do with Boston. Fuck you, Damian Lillard, you coward. With you on that one, Ray. Why don't we ever hear about players not wanting to go to like Utah? Like, you know how fucking racist that place is? It's
nobody gives a shit about Utah.
I just don't get it. It feels like Boston's been put into this this bubble in NBA circles, that it's like this walking KKK.
I heard that Felger today. He's like, pretty much the Boston fans, you guys are the reason why Damian Lillard does not want to come here. Anthony Davis didn't want to come here because of how we treated Isaiah Thomas and all that shit, and how Kyrie Irving was treated, and blah 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 blah. These guys are just pussies.
They are just pussies. Anthony Davis was his dad, which is stupid.
Pussy.
Kyrie Irving, whatever. And I heard the Felger thing too. Yeah, the fans are too hard. Like, so do players
just passion, my friend?
Felger's saying that the fans are too hard. Stop it.
Do players just want to go somewhere where like they hand out roses to the competition as they roll in? And
this generation now does pretty much.
Like, where do you get that? First of all, what kind of fans? Like Miami?
Is that what they are? I think a lot of NBA cities are like that.
Miami's like that because no fan cares about fucking basketball. They just show up because they're in the playoffs.
I mean, outside of like what, New York and Philadelphia, like how many like hardcore NBA fan bases are there? Maybe like a Lakers fan base?
Lakers. Oh yeah, Lakers.
Yeah, but
Lakers.
LA fans are soft. What about like Texas? You go down to Dallas and Houston, you think Texans are just sitting
I
there.
don't think that.
I don't think they like
it's like a
basketball down there in
hardcore
Texas.
NBA
Yeah.
fan base.
Oh, I don't know. The Houston Rockets have a massive fan base.
they
Massive.
really?
But are they?
I don't think
Yeah.
they do.
They got some championships under their belt recently.
You mean
I don't
93,
think that-
94?
I mean, I'm thinking of other teams. Like, I was gonna say Minnesota, but they're just all so nice up there that you probably don't get.
Minnesota nice, yeah, guy.
Like Milwaukee, everyone's drunk there. You don't think you can hear some bad shit in Milwaukee?
Detroit. What about
bullshit.
Detroit?
Detroit? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a hard city.
Listen,
That's a hardcore city.
Detroit has bigger problems to worry about than the Pistons.
Like, I just don't agree with that take. Like, I think it just gets highlighted because it's Boston and they've got a reputation. And maybe they're a little bit harder, but they're no harder than New York. New York was screaming "fuck you, Trey" when he knocked them out of the playoffs, and he shushed them all. That's kind of why. So I'm talking myself into Trey Young.
I would not Trey Young.
I know you sound very pro.
Oh, you
Trae
fucking
Young.
bitch!
If Trey
You
Young was to
fucking
get a
stiff
haircut,
sapper.
you'd be on it.
Yeah, if he shaved his head, I'm in.
So you're all in on Derek White then?
Yeah, he shaved his head,
You did.
or his wife did while he was sleeping. I think that. All right, so what do you want to talk about, Dame? Where's he gonna go?
Miami.
Well, there's not enough money there, Ray. The money doesn't work. You've told us that many times.
3-team deal. I already said that to you today too. You fucking dink. You know that. It's a 3-team deal. Someone has to take Tyler Hero, and because that's what Miami's pretty much packaging the whole deal around. They don't want to get rid of Bam Adebayo. They want to keep Jimmy Butler, obviously. So it's going to be a deal that requires Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and a bundle of picks, and hopefully a third team comes in and swoops in and helps this whole deal make it happen. But I wouldn't be. I don't know who it would be.
Oh,
Like Houston, maybe.
You don't even need a third team to make the money.
Houston's
work.
acquiring the all
last week.
dickhead team in the NBA, so unless Tyler Hero's an asshole, he can't go there.
Yeah,
He's
you've
an
seen
asshole.
Shitty outfits he wore. He's an asshole. He's at least a
Dank.
Well, come on, is he okay? He's bad dressed, but is he really?
Yeah.
All right, fine, he can go there. Whatever.
Yeah, you can throw Houston on that list. You can throw anybody with draft pick compensation. Oklahoma City. How many first round picks do they have? You can do whatever you want. Is Duncan Robinson an expiring deal? Like $19.5 million? Maybe he's got 2 years left on it. I told you last week you don't need a third team to make the money work. You can get there at like 84% or whatever the salary match. They just need a third team for assets because the Blazers don't want Tyler Hero. But Dame wants to go to Miami, so that's probably where he's going.
Because his agent demanded.
I wouldn't put it past Danny Ainge to do it though. I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Utah lands Damian Lillard.
He's like, fuck it.
Duncan Robinson's contract is not he's there till the end of 26.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't want that either. All right, well, we'll see you in Miami, Dame. Talk about not liking Boston after that first game as a Miami Heat in Boston for Damian Lillard. Watch out.
Yeah, you'll know why he didn't want to come here.
Fuck you, Dan. Yep, he's about to get that. And Jaylen Brown's going to sign the deal, and that's your team. That's your team.
Yep. With some little sprinkle of
Peyton Pritchard starting at point guard.
No, Derek White will start point guard.
Don't argue with Bobby's points when they're wrong. He's made that very, very clear.
Sorry, Bobby. Yeah, great point, Bobby. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard starting point guard.
Would you be surprised if they send Brogdon down to Atlanta in that $25 million exception for nothing for a couple of second rounders back?
A buttload of second rounders. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Get under the cap. God.
Yep.
They'd have the world record for second round picks.
I'm going to be very disappointed if that's what they do. Very disappointed. Speaking of being disappointed, let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
A fucking cunt. Thank you, Richard. Joey Chestnut wins his 16th Nathan's hot dog eating contest on July 4th. He won after downing 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I wonder how many hot dogs Rich's mother could down in 10 minutes. Bobby's Boston Red Sox head into the All-Star break this weekend in last place in the AL East. Tyler Bertuzzi took a 1-year, $5.5 million deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. In other Boston free agency news, everyone wants Don Sweeney fired again. Patriots are the odds-on favorite to land both DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook, according to Vegas. Brad Stevens has reached out to the Portland Trail Blazers about acquiring 7-time All-Star Damian Lillard. A 3-team trade saw the Celtics trading Grant Williams to the Dallas Mavericks. The San Antonio Spurs got Reggie Bullock and a 2030 unprotected pick swap with Dallas. And the Celtics got a bunch of second-round picks. In other Celtics news, Derek White finally addressed the elephant in the room and shaved his head, getting rid of that awful hairline. And finally, on this day in 1900, the Boston Beaneaters pitcher Kid Nichols notched his 300th career MLB victory with an 11-4 win over the Chicago Orphans. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you, Richard.
Wow, slipped in a Did You Know segment at the end of that.
A little Did You Know, yeah. On
the
Chicago
Orphans, huh?
Yeah, that wouldn't be able to play anymore in 2023. Or the Bean Eaters, I don't think.
No.
Boston Bean Eaters is a great fucking team name.
That's our next podcast name. When this one get canceled, finally, when someone of importance starts listening to this and they cancel us immediately, the Bean Eaters will be the next name we pop back up with. Keep your eye out.
Yeah. We just pop up again. New name.
Yeah. New name. I was gonna say, quickly, you want to touch on that Dalvin Cook odds-on favorites? Vegas odds-on favorites, Pats to land Dalvin Cook and Hopkins. Validity?
I think there is. I mean, they make the most sense. They have the room to do it, and they both want to play together, so why not? Hey,
Pats seem to have a point to prove.
What's the point?
That they're looking to improve their offense, and they're trying to compete this year. They're not like punting on the year.
Yeah, you think the division's like there's still like it's a toss. If you can get Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins, wouldn't you say that you are the leaders in the race right now for the AFC East?
No, it's Bills.
No, Bills still.
Allen.
You think the Bills, even though they lost some key acquisitions, Stephon Diggs doesn't want to be there anymore because he feels.
Hey! You're talking to the captain of Mac Jones fan club. I'll be the first guy to predict the division win. I picked 12 wins in the season. Well, you want to talk logically? We said this for 20 years. Until you dethrone them, they're on top. The Bills are on top. They got the best talent. They got the best quarterback. That's it. Yeah. Bottom line, you're never going to talk me into Miami getting there because I think that organization is trash. They'll get in their own way. The Jets are also trash, and Aaron Rodgers is a pathetic worm. So it's all about Mac Jones taking that next step. And then, yeah, you're right in the thick of it, especially if you get those two guys, for sure.
You could probably say the Patriots be a favorite to make the playoffs, get a wild card berth.
Yeah, you put them in that. You stack them in. I mean, outside of what you get outside the AFC East, which is, the best division in the conference with those 4 teams. The rest of the divisions, the North has, between Cincinnati and Baltimore.
South has who? Jacksonville.
Yeah.
West has the darling of Kansas City, and then
bunch of question marks over there with Herbert and Russell Wilson. Yeah, it's wide open. It's certainly wide open.
Jimmy Garoppolo over there in Vegas, leading Josh McDaniels' offense. God, I can't wait for football season, man.
I know. I was just watching some highlights, and I kind of miss it. Yeah, man. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We don't have to waste a couple minutes here before we get into hockey, but you put Hopkins in that wide receiver room, everyone gets notched down a peg. It makes everybody better. But Dalvin Cook, line him up with Stevenson and whoever else after that. That's a completely different room. It's a completely different running back room. Completely different offense.
I don't know if you guys know this because I don't know how Bobby obviously doesn't know this, but Zuckerberg came out with a new social media thing today. It's Threads. I don't know if you guys heard of Threads. It's pretty much Instagram, but like it's like Instagram, Twitter combined kind of thing.
Can I tell you how happy I am that I have no idea what you're talking about?
Well, that's fine because we already have an account on there and everything, and we've already done some posts. But anywho's, he's been DeAndre Hopkins is being like a little rabbit trail of clues of where he's going to sign on Threads, and it sounds like it's the Patriots.
It's kind of leaning that way. Everybody is leaning that way, and when Vegas is leaning that way, it's hard to ignore it.
Yeah.
What's the appropriate reaction if that comes across Mark Zuckerberg's threads? DeAndre Hopkins signs with the Patriots. Dalvin Cook signs with the Patriots. Is this a
Have you ever seen
classic?
the no, I'll tell you right now. Do you know what this is? Have you ever seen the South Park episode when Randy Marsh finds porn on the internet and he just comes everywhere and he's in front of a computer?
Is that
That's
the meme?
yes, that's the reaction that all of New England will have, just jerking off endlessly of semen covering walls everywhere because the Patriots will be relevant again.
And none of these Patriot fans are that fertile that there's going to be that much jizz. Okay,
Ask your mother.
None of
Ask
them.
your mother.
Listen, any of them, if they're barely able to squirt off a load that is even like palpable to see anywhere, would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, they've lost it all to that Instagram picture of Brady and Mac Jones together. They've given it all up.
Saw that
this past weekend.
Yeah.
I'm an old now. Yeah, it's Facebook and Instagram for me. I do like the thought of the Dalvin Cook Hopkins creating the Yellowstone super volcano of New England jizz just over an
everywhere.
Atomic winter comes in.
God, New England would be so sticky with all the jizz that
Yeah,
all
those home field
fans-
advantage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is why you're on the show, Ray, because you are the true homer. You're not afraid to flip flop. If they sign Hopkins and Cook, I'm just gonna be like, they better not fucking blow it.
Yeah.
They better show up. I'm just gonna be mad. Like,
No, I'm gonna sign a
figure the
petition to
fuck
have
out.
every fan has to give Mac Jones a hand job on Saturday evenings before his game, so he's relaxed, ready to go.
Oh, I'm gonna be very nervous for Mac if they get that kind of weapons around.
You
very
fucking
nervous.
better. You fucking better be.
I'm gonna be very nervous. I might switch to the Zappy fan club just to hedge my bets.
Exactly. Zap Daddy.
Zap Daddy, baby.
Well, he's getting traded anyway. Zap Daddy's
Yeah,
getting traded.
little clickbait,
Little clickbait.
Fuckingheavy.com.
The
Bobby's
first time,
new fucking
the first
rival.
first time Bobby was coming on the show, I sent him an article about something from Heavy, and he goes, "This is your fucking source? You hate Heavy so much."
It's all it is clickbaity bullshit.
I like it. I like clickbait.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, nice little impromptu Patriots segment. Let's take a quick break and do a little Bruins talk. Be right back. Bobby, should I just do this and then send you a different invite to come back?
No. I like his playing walls. It gives me inspiration to fucking talk about the Bruins right now.
I was
Bobby
actually
Blaine,
just
Bobby Blaine. Is that a new
I
room?
was looking up your mama jokes that I was going to use during the segment.
Very good.
Oh, perfect.
Very good. Okay, we'll be right back. And bitch.
Nice.
And we're back. Don Sweeney sucks again. Let's just dive right into it. It was my opening take. After 18 months of can't miss moves from the Boston Bruins general manager, he comes out on the first day of free agency and makes some interesting additions, which we'll start with. Here are your additions for the Boston Bruins free agency this year. Old friend Milan Lucic, left winger, coming back on a 1-year, $1 million deal. 35 years old. Last year tallied a grand total of 19 points and 7 goals for 35-year-old Milan Lucic.
Yuck.
Thank you. Right after him, Mr. James Van Riemsdyk in an upgrade at the left wing position from Lucic. Another 1-year, $1 million deal. 34 years old, was able to put up a whopping 29 points and 12 goals from James Van Riemsdyk. After that, to really solidify your decor, Kevin Shattenkirk, right shot defenseman, another 1-year, $1 million deal, another 34-year-old with actual 27 points and a big old three goal tally there last year. Raymond?
Woof.
Thank you. To bolster that bottom six, centerman / winger Patrick Brown, journeyman, comes in on a 2-year deal with an AAV of 800,000, 31 years old, and get this, 12 points last year.
Ooh, watch out.
And then after that, they moved for a youth movement, bringing in centerman, bottom six centerman winger Morgan Geekie, the Geek Squad.
Fucking geek.
I get it. 2 years AAV of $2 million. They really opened the purse strings for this 24-year-old with 28 points last year in limited playing time. And they signed their own guy, Jeremy Lauko, bottom six bruiser, 2 years AAV of 775,000. And then I'll just give you this one there, Raymond. I'll go through the whole thing. Still here, both goalies in Ullmark and Swayman. Both of them still here. Swayman yet to sign a new deal. Matt Grzelcyk, who has benched in the playoffs, and Brandon Carlo, who has at best a fringe top four defenseman who has been a disappointment, shall we say, or inconsistent on that defensive core for the Bruins.
Hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold.
There you go. And out the door, instead of signing these guys, they signed that bag of shit that I gave you and left the $5 million, $3 million, $8 million that you could have signed in Ullmark, Grzelcyk, and Carlo, about $8 million there. You could have went out and signed at least one of these guys. Bertuzzi, like you said in the headlines there, Ray, left to Toronto for 1 year, $5.5 million with the Leafs. We'll get back to that in a second. And Orlov signed in Carolina for $7.75 million AAV, which may have been a little rich for what he brought to the table. But those are two of the guys that you traded first round picks for.
I was gonna say that was the big thing. That fucking Sweeney traded away draft assets, first round picks for these two guys that you didn't even have a chance to sign, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I talk about all the time about like buying into like buying a championship kind of thing, but when you don't do it, this is what happens. And I see the dark side of it. You know how you play the opposite side of what Bill and I say, like fucking go all in, chips all in. Well, we did a chips all in and it didn't fucking work. And now everyone's gone. You have no fucking room to sign any of these guys. You have no more assets. You're going to suck next year.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to suck. They're probably going to compete for the playoffs because they've got enough talent. But yeah, when that shit doesn't work, you try to salvage it. And the Bruins, Sweeney is always, you know, he's notorious for giving away first round picks at the deadline, but he generally tries to sign those guys back. Yeah, he is not always successful at it, but he could have been with Bertuzzi. Here's what happened with Tyler Bertuzzi. Him and his agent misread the market. They wanted something closer to $7.5 million per year over 4. The Bruins said, no, we'll give you 5. And then they both essentially told each other, fuck off. Then free agency opened up and whoops, Bertuzzi found out, yeah, your market's closer to 5, dude. But no one ever called him back. The Bruins never called him back. They just let him walk out the door for 1 year, 5.5. Their offer to him was 4 years at 5. You're telling me you can't come up with another $500,000 for? And he wanted the consistency. He wanted the multi-year deal. They had it on the table for him. He just misread the market before the market's open. But the Bruins never circled back to try and bring him back in. He was their number one target, and they fucked it all up. And instead, was Lucic and Shattenkirk and Van Riemsdyk not going to be there on day 2 of free agency if they tried to circle back to fucking Bertuzzi? Give me a break. He shit the bed on this, man. He shit the bed hard in this free agency. Keeping Ullmark here, not trading Grzelcyk, not trying to move one of those second pairing defensemen that you have. He shit the bed hard. Clifton's out the door. Who cares? A couple, Garnett and Hathaway, $2.3 million. Maybe that's a little too high. I get.
In all honesty, though, Bertuzzi, like I know Sweeney shit the bed, but Bertuzzi should just fucking fire his agent.
Yeah,
after the season he had, and coming from Detroit, and he was a great little player for the Bruins in the playoff run kind of thing. I mean, I know we got swept and not swept, but we lost in 7. But I mean, if you think you're worth 7.5 and you go out there and no one's fucking calling you back and you get a 1 year deal for 5.5. Yeah, your agent's not doing his due diligence for you, buddy, and you're gonna get fucked up there in Philly. You're gonna have another first round exit.
Toronto, but yeah,
Toronto. What'd I say?
Philly.
Cap's
gonna open up next year for the NHL, so everyone's kind of playing that. They're all up against it this year.
Yeah.
So it could work out for him if he has a good year, but if he gets hurt, then yeah, he's gonna be fucked. He wanted a lot. The bigger point here is Sweeney didn't do his due diligence in coming back around to the player when the market's turned on him. Like,
he's hockey tough. He's hockey tough. You don't tell him to fuck off.
He had to go get Lucic. He had to keep
Yeah.
Lucic on the line.
Did you see the? Sorry, did you see the fucking video that he posted Milan?
Yeah,
dude, he's scrawny.
He might not make the team. Like, he might be up in the press box for most of the season. He doesn't bring a whole lot. Not to start the year, because they're going to need to sell some tickets, but he's not.
Come like January, that time of year.
Yeah, when maybe they suck. Not if St. Patrice comes back, though. Here's what Sweeney had to say about the long-term captains for the Bruins that they just cannot quit. Sweeney on Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci, quote, "We still have to hear a final word from both Krejci and Patrice, so we'll keep an eye out and an ear out and cross our fingers that maybe that falls our way." What?
He's not picking up his phone. Pretty much.
Again?
He's not picking up the phone. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Good.
Patrice and Krejci aren't fucking pick up the phone. We have no answers, so we're waiting for final say.
Look,
that's how I take that.
If you want to bring Bergeron back on $1 million deal, whatever, and solidify your center position, because right now everyone's out of place, then I guess. But like, it's time to move on, man. Time to move on.
Do you bring both of them back? I'd bring both of them back just for this year alone, because after looking at these lines that you are going to talk about next, yuck.
It's not going to happen under Don Sweeney, but eventually you have to cut the fucking cord. Like bringing Milan Lucic is going backwards, and then praying that David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron come back to solidify your lines and play for nothing so they can keep the spoke B on their chest and extend their career a little bit for the fans. Ugh. That's not how, like, it
you know how I feel
this year almost, but you sold your soul for it and you caught lightning in a bottle and then you still blew it.
The only way I see Don Sweeney getting fired, almost kind of like a Chaim Bloom thing, like bringing it all full circle with the Boston GMs that are terrible and need to be fired immediately. Basically, you got to miss the playoffs and stop selling tickets. That's the only way that owners will wake up and say, "Okay, see you later. We're not getting the revenue that we need." That's the only way I can see this fucking happening.
Yeah, you're probably
if they made the playoffs as an 8th seed, 7th seed, I think Jeremy Jacobs brings it back.
Yeah, very right. Especially if you keep bringing back the old hits and you got name recognition on that lineup. Right now, not so much. Let me give you the lines and then we'll move on. Right now, as it's slated, get ready for this. Your top line, Brad Marchand, Zacha, and David Pastrnak. And keep in mind, Brad Marchand, he should, after
Shut the fuck up. Don't say it. Don't fucking say it. He shouldn't be fucking gone. He's the heart and soul of the Boston Bruins.
Oh, don't Marcus Smart me with Brad Marchand. They should trade him at the deadline because he's going to look better than he did at the end of last year. After a year after the hip surgery, he'll look better. But if this team is just whatever, yeah, move him. Fucking move him. Grow some balls and move him like you should have done with Patrice and Krejci and
Allmark,
Chara,
and Lindholm,
Tuukka. Second line, Van Riemsdyk, Charlie Coyle, and Jake DeBrusk. You're right. This team sucks. Third line, AJ Green, the Geek Squad, and Trent Frederick. Fourth line, Lucic, Journeyman Brown, and some combination of whatever. Jeremy Lau, Steen.
Bobby, AJ Green is not the wide receiver from Cincinnati and Arizona fame. He didn't
make a career change?
He did not. I'm just letting you know that. I saw your ears perk up when you heard AJ Green. You're like, oh shit, we're talking football right now? No, wow. Still hockey.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I mean, it might even be AJ Greer.
Yeah, but you said AJ Green, so and it says in emails, so it's his name now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for all intents and purposes, it could be AJ Green from the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how much that guy does not matter to the Boston Bruins.
Pretty much.
He's just a nothing. Your deep pairing is Lindholm and McAvoy. That's still good until you get to the playoffs and Lindholm disappears. Grizzly Carlo, not good. Very consistent. And then Forbert and Shattenkirk. And then thank God you have the combination of Olmark and Swayman. And according to Sweeney, Swayman wants to play here and they're excited about it. Here's what he says. Talking about Jeremy Swayman, quote, he's been very consistent about where he wants to play hockey, Alaska. I don't see why he wouldn't be playing hockey here now and moving forward with the Bruins for a long time. There is a really good young goaltender here. We are excited about having him and Linus Ullmark. End quote. Are you excited about having him and Linus Ullmark?
No.
A lot of good it did him this year, huh?
What would that be? $10 million if they sign him up for another between both the goalies.
Yeah,
AAV.
I think his shoe's gonna drop here. They can't keep him. They literally don't have the cap space. Swayman's gonna cost at least $4. Swayman he hasn't publicly said it, but a lot of reports that he's requested a trade. He wants to play closer to home, which is Alaska. And
Edmonton. No, Vancouver.
Hold on, Raymond. I'm glad that you've remembered your education, your geography class over the text chain. But when we discussed this first, you suggested Seattle, apparently forgetting that the entire country of Canada existed north of America.
Well, no shit. Everyone forgets about Canada existing.
They're forgettable.
Yeah, very forgettable.
Jeremy Swayman wants to play to Alaska. What's the closest team to Alaska? Seattle. USA.
I was quick too. I was quick about that.
God bless America.
Yeah.
How about Vancouver, which is like fucking right there too, just a little bit further north.
He doesn't have dual citizenship, so he wants to play in Seattle. Boom.
Pod.
Done.
What an idiot. There you go. I'm not even going to talk about the prospects. Fabian Lysel should see some time. Mason Laurie, those are your top two guys. John Beecher's been talked about for years. The McLaughlin kid, this Brent Harrison is a center. That they're all bottom 6 except for maybe Lysel and Laurie. Potential to be a top 4 defenseman, but no one's coming in here to make a difference for the Bruins. Just a complete bed shitting by Don Sweeney in free agency. And he could have saved it all just by bringing Bertuzzi back. If you brought Bertuzzi back and traded the goalie, we'd be singing his fucking praises. Snip, snap, Don, keep it rolling. Those 2 moves. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. He started so strong, shipping Hall out of town too.
Yeah, you were all for that. I was a little sad about that.
We saw the tea leaves. Like it was all lined up for him. Very, very easy. Very, very easy.
You gave it to him. You gave the blueprint. Clearly, he doesn't listen to this show.
No, I'm gonna send him an email. All right, Bobby, last word on the Bruins?
Hockey's dumb.
We got afternoon delight. No, would you rather?
Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Whoop. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Well said.
Wow, Bobby.
Thank you.
Hot.
Yeah. That was a great delivery. All right, let's do some would you rathers here. These are I thought they're pretty good. Ray really likes them. Bobby's on the fence. Let's start with
he's always on the fence.
Yeah.
Mm.
He likes it. Let's start with this one. Would you rather play professionally for your hometown, never sell out, forever be a hero in that town, never pay for a beer type of thing, but also never win a championship, or chase the rings, go get the championship, multiple championships?
Chase the ring.
Wrong.
I'm chasing it.
Be a legend in your hometown. I mean, come on. Never have to buy a beer. People would be ringing your name. I was trying to think of someone that would like be able. Do you have anyone in mind that you were like thinking about?
Yeah, I know who it would have been. Bill, if you're listening, Ray Bork.
Ah, that guy. Yes.
If Ray Bork just hung around and never won a ring. Although the Bruins were so soft, they invited him back.
That was their Stanley Cup pretty much.
All but Bill. Because they couldn't win the Stanley Cup on their own. No, the question was centered around the Damian Lillard stuff. Damian Lillard, Portland's not his hometown, but he stuck around for years and years and years and years and years and is beloved in that fan base. And now
does Portland have a fan base though?
Yeah. They're probably not as mean as
they must. Enough to support him.
They had him all the way back to Clyde the Glide and Bill Walton.
I was thinking like Antoine
then
Walker.
When they became the Jailblazers.
I know Antoine Walker didn't go ring chase and he just got fat and like
they traded Antoine Walker.
No, I'm just saying
he was fat. Okay,
he was big boned, but I'm just saying like he was beloved here. Like if anyone could recognize him because he weighs like double what he weighed.
Because he didn't care about free beers, he would buy you a beer.
No, he'd fucking go to the crap tables and fucking hopefully get
depending on how his night went at the shoot and die.
Yeah.
No, Damian Lillard was on my mind when I came with that question, but I'm sure the Red Sox would probably be a good handful of guys.
Nomar. I mean, Nomar was a fucking legend before he got traded to Chicago.
Yeah, but he never stuck around. There's like our guys that just stuck around.
That's what I'm trying to figure.
I'm sure we could come up with a couple. Bobby, you're chasing the rings. Fuck him.
Yep. Give me the rings, baby.
What does that do for your career, though?
Then I'll come back to the hometown and show them how dope I am with my rings.
Like Ray Bork did.
Yeah, exactly.
Full circle.
The other side of the coin is Durant. Like Durant's just
he's a baby back bitch. No one respects him. See, you're a baby back bitch. Bobby's a baby back bitch now. Yeah.
Fine.
Baby back bitch, Bobby.
Well, where are you on this, Rich? You haven't said anything.
He doesn't have to. He plays devil's advocate. He just says it out there and then puts it out into the metaverse and sees what happens.
Yeah, that's right. I facilitate. I live my life in 100% disappointment and anger anyway, so I'll just stay home. I don't have to win. I don't have to feel that joy.
That is not
beer,
what you
whatever
would do.
bar you
that
get
is
to go
a
to.
fucking
There's
lie.
not a lot of joy in my life. I'll just stay home and have people love me for sacrificing of never leaving.
And you get a free beer wherever you go. I mean, come on.
That's right. I do like beer.
Mm.
I do like beer. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
Bobby, before you answer, I have a quick question on this. Now, is this a one-time thing you see 10 minutes in the future, or is it just like all the time?
It's a good question.
Thank you. I need clarification before I answer. I kind of know where I'm leaning, but I just wanted a clarification.
I would assume it would be a power that you could use all the time.
Yeah, we'll say
you didn't fucking make the question, Bobby. Rich did.
I said assume.
We'll say all the time because you can't you looking 150 years in the future. You do that multiple times and you really get to see the whole scope of everything. You can't just do that once, right? Your brain can't comprehend that. So yeah, it's just you can do it all the time.
All right, very good. I already know how I'm going to die with a fucking filet mignon on my chest and just having a massive heart attack. So I already know that.
You can't afford that cut. Stop it. London broil.
10 minutes into the future.
You think you got another 150 years till you die? You could do the math, fucking Bob.
No, I know I'm going to die in like 10 years. So that's why I want to know what it looks like 150 years in the future.
Then you need to know what happens in the next 10 minutes so that you can spend
I want 150 years. I want to see the
possible.
future. No, fuck that. I already know.
You're anticipating you only have a decade or less, so left. So what do you need to see 10 minutes? So
yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the future. I want to see if there's flying cars. I want to see if aliens exist, and now they're fucking like we're slaves and all that kind of stuff. I want to see the good shit.
Yeah. Come on. Now, obviously, a lot of people go toward the monetary thing here. You'd be able to look at things and set up your family for generational wealth. You'd Back to the Future and Biff, and the Langevins would be in their high tower 150 years from now, based off the
Langevins. They would change their name if they were rich.
Yeah, they would. It'd be La Javine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah. I would go with 10 minutes and then constantly see 10 minutes in the future and just completely troll everybody about what was happening over and just be the most irritable cunt in the world.
Yeah. 10 minutes is the easy one. You can just bet, a lot of betting going on, gambling, end of games.
Yeah. I would just nickel and dime people for the money.
Though.
Just a lot of $20 bets.
What do you mean 10 minutes? You know how much money you can make? Minutes. 2004 Red Sox. All I need is 10 minutes. All I need is 10 minutes in 4 games. I would never have to bet again. Never gamble again. What else could you do? You'd never get in a car accident.
I wouldn't get
a lot in 10 minutes. It's great. You could basically always know what's about to happen next and control any scenario.
Constantly seeing the future.
Exactly.
Fuck. I want to see 150 years in the future. Because once you're dead, you're dead. You can't. You're gonna die, and then you're gonna be panicking. And what should I do? Fuck that. I already know how I'm gonna die.
You don't have to look.
Oh, now there's that rule.
Well,
you can't just throw these curveballs.
What do you think? You're just constantly seeing 150 years in the future. How are you going to live?
Just sitting there, just like high, just taking it all in.
That'd be awesome.
How are you going to get to that filet mignon on your fat chest?
God, I can just picture that disgusting steak juice just
Right?
rolling down your chest.
Just shame glaze. Fucking
Exactly.
smells like death. Would you rather sell all of your possessions or one of your organs?
One of
I've
my
heard
organs.
that you don't particularly need appendixes, and I still have one, so you can have that.
Me too.
Oh, that
Boom.
feels like a cop out. I still have mine too.
We win.
How about let's make it a kidney?
Done. You only need one of those.
Well, yeah, Ray, you can't take your heart. Obviously, it has to be an organ that you can get rid of. It's the whole idea
Why
of
you get-
going
get
through the
mad?
procedure and the turmoil
Wow.
and everything. Yeah, we're not gonna take both your lungs. Like, what are you talking about?
Can they take Can they take my kidney and some fat along with it, or is it just a kidney?
Well, if you only have one kidney working, you're bound to lose some weight and be pretty unhealthy.
Yeah, you should probably sell all your shit then.
Yeah.
No, I'm going kidney.
Look,
Well-
man, that 10 years is coming faster. If you get rid of one of your kidneys right now, the way that you treat your body, you're dead.
This is a temple. This is a temple, Richard. How dare you?
Those filters need to stay
The
strong.
Temple of Doom.
Two of them. I need both my kidneys. So,
Why? Why?
would you rather have every shirt you... Oh, this one's tough. Would you rather have every shirt that you own just be like a little itchy, like a wool shirt, or only ever be able to use one ply of toilet paper?
Great question, Richard.
Like,
One
great.
ply. I'm not going to be itchy all day. Fuck that. One ply.
Bobby's such an arrogant pooper. I fucking
He
hate
is.
him
I'm-
so
When
bad.
he fucking wrote that to us, I was so fucking pissed off.
It's probably
Yeah,
little
you
fucking
think I'm
rabbit
joking?
turds.
I will send you a picture of my shit every day, a new one between those hours every fucking
You're
day.
arrogant prick.
How boring
Okay.
you think that bathroom's gonna be? So boring.
So fucking boring.
And it's nice
Boring
and firm and
poop, boring
compact. It just
bathroom.
kind of comes right out for the poop, and there's no. I don't even need one ply. Is all I need. Give me half the ply.
Wow.
Fucking woman.
I'm not gonna be
itch.
itchy.
I'm scratching.
Give me that itchy.
Yeah, you queers can scratch away all day. You look like drug
I
addicts.
have to
walking around.
scratch. The
That's fine.
alternative for that is another would you rather. I'm just gonna smell like shit all day. If I have one ply, no, I'm just gonna scratch. I'll get used to it.
Mhm.
Would you rather be attacked by every dog that sees you or every bird that sees you?
Bird. Although I saw a bald eagle tonight, so I don't know.
That
Not
hurt.
good. That would hurt real bad.
You can't see the birds coming though. They just come.
That's a tough question because
Uh,
a dog could potentially physically kill you, especially if
Yeah.
there's a lot of them and you get fatigued.
birds could too.
Yeah. I
Those
think birds would
talons,
just
man.
be a lot more annoying, and yeah, you'd just be constant lacerations.
I just can't stop picturing. There's just a dog going for a walk. It just sees you and has to attack.
All of
Oh,
them, every single one across the globe. Every time a dog.
Well,
sees
I
you,
guess-
Although those fucking little dogs, I'd punt those things for fucking. I'd be fucking out there doing NFL punts with those things. Little
I guess what
chihuahuas
I
and
would
shit.
do. The first thing I would do is I'd go to Bill's house and get a couple guns, and then anytime, one of these came at me, I just have to blast one. So it'd probably be easier. I don't know. It would be
Click-clack,
easier to shoot a
motherfucker.
bird out of the sky or shoot a dog. I
How
guess
were you
I
at
would go
duck
with the
hunt?
dog.
How good were you at duck hunt?
I've never been on a duck hunt.
You never played the video game Duck Hunt?
I thought you said going on a duck hunt. How good was I? I was terrible. I was like 5.
Yeah, you should go fucking then with a dog.
Yeah.
Kill dogs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could kill a bunch
I
of
think it's
dogs.
easier to shoot the dogs
Yeah,
don't
birds
know, I
would get annoying.
I hate birds, so I'd kill.
because you
birds.
can't see it coming. At least you'd see the dog coming.
There's so
But I
many
like
birds.
dogs.
Like you're thinking about the big ones that could really do some damage to you, but no, there's like all of them. Like just little finches. It's like fuck.
Yeah, but it'd be annoying. That's fine.
Well,
you
it's
can
like
swat
what
them
if
away.
they see? What if they see from outside the window? They're slamming in your house.
Yeah, they're smashing it, picking up dead birds all the time. I'll just shoot some dogs.
Um,
And here's a good one. Would you rather?
I like.
Would
this
you
one.
rather have a vagine for a mouth or dicks for hands?
Does the vagine for a mouth come with the breath smelling like fish?
Yeah, but it's still opera. You can still talk
How
normal.
do I
Everything's the same. It
do I
just
not
looks
eat?
like a
What do-
vagine and
you-
smells like a vagine.
But you
Come
still
on.
eat through it.
Yeah, everything you can work. everything works. You look like you have a vagina mouth.
I'm going for vagina mouth. Because dicks for hands, you can't do anything. You
I
can't.
mean, you could beat the shit out of birds that are attacking you.
Yeah, but that's just going to be hard to pick things up. And what kind of dick are we talking about?
Your
How
dick.
big? Well, then you guys are fucked. Very small.
Well, it's like
Very tan. But
it's
very
your
small.
dick to scale for your hands. Like it. So the size is to scale, but shape, form, coloring. Yeah.
I'm going vagina for mouth.
You probably have to go. Yeah, it becomes a conversation.
Yeah, dick for hands sounds hard to live. I mean, I don't know what you do.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Maybe.
people that live without hands.
And then how do you jerk off?
Yeah, and they're sad people. Like this.
Like, does your hands jerk off too? Like, can you jerk off your hands?
Yeah, like shake weights. You just kind of move them around.
Just put it in your vagina mouth.
Ooh, there you go. You can on mouth.
Now,
Just
if
go
you come,
both, then
if
you're
you
solid.
if you sucked your own hand, would you be gay?
Well, that's it. Well, what about if you do that? What if you just go with both, and then you can then you at least have a little synergy there.
Because it's called Would You Rather, Bobby. Stop breaking the rules.
I'm just
God,
posing the question.
Fucking bland
damn it.
Bobby. Fucking
Ruined
ruined
it again. All right. Simplest
job,
minds of the
Bobby.
week right after this.
Are you stupid or something? Honestly, as stupid as a stupid does.
Simplest minds of the week. Fairly weak candidates. Let's start with the second. First.
Whoa, no.
No, I couldn't understand this. This was on Barstool. The woman has.
I did a deep dive.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us about it then? The woman has epic meltdown over quote not real passenger on American airline flight. There's video of her screaming, "Get me the fuck off of here!" She thinks someone was not real.
Mm-hmm.
That's
He was
it.
a shapeshifter. Nope, he was a shapeshifter. He blinked his eyes and they went instead of going.
Interesting.
And he didn't talk. She was trying to have a conversation with him, and he would look at her, and she thought the plane was going to go down pretty much, and said, "You guys can die with this guy. I'm out. Peace out. Get me off this fucking plane," because she knew that this guy was a shapeshifter. It wasn't a real person, and was just like, "I'm out. I'm out. I'm gone." I thought she was crazy. I thought she took an edible. She didn't like to fly. She wanted to time travel. Nope. This girl was just like, nope, this guy is not real. There's an alien maybe of some sort.
Like a skin suit.
No, he had a hoodie on, apparently. He had a hoodie on. Wouldn't talk to anyone. I guess people, he made contact with some person, like looked at the guy and like winked. But when he winked, he didn't go like that. It went
It
that.
wasn't a horizontal wink. It was a vertical wink.
Thank you. That's what the words I was looking for.
That would be a little bit creepy, but that could also very well be the consequences of doing a bunch of weed gummies.
No, she didn't. She didn't get arrested or anything. She got off the plane and she didn't get arrested.
So government was involved. So this guy was a government plot, or they knew about.
Yeah,
it.
pretty much this girl's gonna be dead because she's like outing the government right now. And
Seeing some
saying
shit
that.
wasn't supposed to see. You know, Carrot Top was on that flight. He had something to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Carrot Top was on the flight.
He's jacked. Don't say anything wrong, Bobby. He'll kick your ass.
Jacked. Anyway, who's the simplest mind here then? The people that are saying that she's crazy?
All the PES. Mm-hmm.
So you believe her? Your team
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm starting to dive down in these conspiracy theories, man. There's a lot of like TikTok, like deep dives I go, and then I go on YouTube, and then I go down to the internets and the interwebs. Ooh,
You got the
crazy.
brain for it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And then this one really slaps. This story
It's pretty,
slaps
bitch.
hard. Britney Spears gets bitch slapped by Victor Wembanyama's security after she goes up and tries to get an autograph from Victor Wembanyama in Las Vegas. And then I just saw a headline that she's pressing charges because of course she is.
Oh, you didn't hear the other thing that she said.
No.
After she got slapped, she goes, "This is fucking America."
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I loved it.
I
loved
wish I clicked on that thing. There's no video of it, which would have been great. Because first of all, Wembanyama is 7'4". Britney Spears is like 5 feet tall. So just seeing the discrepancy of that height and then some security guard backhanding her for getting too close. That's must-see TV. There's got to be some close.
Why does this guy have security anyway?
Because he's 7'5" and it's like 150 pounds soaking wet.
Mm.
And
do you think a lot of NBA players? Do you think a lot of NBA players and sports figures have security?
Yeah,
like hired security like this, not like Ja Morant posses. Like, does Kevin Durant have security? Kevin Durant probably has a guy, right?
Oh yeah,
he probably does. He's high profile.
LeBron's got guys. He's probably got like multiple SUVs following.
He's got like an entourage.
Yeah.
But Tatum doesn't have guys.
Yeah,
no,
he's a dookie. He has guys.
You think?
Yeah, the devil.
Interesting question. Anyway, Britney found out the hard way that Wembanyama does have guys because she got smacked in the face.
That's fucking awesome.
Even though it's America, bitch.
This is America. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I like it.
America.
I do like it. I'm moving towards Team Britney here now that I've heard that. She's right. Because you know
I giggled when I saw that. Like, no fucking way.
It is a factual statement.
She's right.
America,
it is America.
You French fuck, get the fuck out. This is America.
This has been the Super Mind Sports Show. Friday we won July 7th.
Nice. Nice
Thank
recovery.
You. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time, not just Rich. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wheel.
No, you said I will see you next time.
I said we'll see you next time.
No, you said I. Rewind it. Rewind it.
Rewind it.
Marty! You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
Hey, everybody.
That was baseball.
Suck it, Vine. It was good.
It's been a big suck it Vine mood today.
Well, he didn't get his way once again. I did.
I won the negotiation.
And it's true.
It's 8:31. You didn't win shit.
The negotiation, you immediately agreed to it. It doesn't matter the outcome. I'm talking about the negotiation.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I negotiate dick in your mother's butthole. I promised myself I wasn't going to start the show like that, but
yeah, I'm sure you've made that promise to yourself many times and you never keep it.
Nope.
Well, you fucking brought up the button on his desk. It was your fault.
Well, it was just this awkward little hole that's in his desk, and like it looked like a washer that's supposed to be covering it that's loose. Like it made no sense.
I saw it. I didn't make any mention because I knew it was going to be a mother joke that he was going to come back with.
Know that. You didn't know that.
I knew that. That was a 99.9% chance.
That was a good mother joke. That was not a low.
I don't have a problem with the joke. The joke was solid.
Solid.
I don't have a problem with the joke. Even your follow-up joke was fine, Ray. But I'm still intrigued by what the fuck that tiny hole is.
I tried my hand at some craft work. Ray, was this? Did I build these this desk situation when you were down here? No. I took some local mahogany wood that came out of a local farm that had burnt down and fabricated these desks out of some wrought iron around the house, and I missed a hole once. I was drunk. What the fuck do you want from me?
Jesus,
well,
fine.
That makes sense then. Okay.
Jesus, fine. God damn.
God damn it, fine. Suck it. Speaking of suck it, why don't you say we start the show? It's in my sports show. We talk the latest and the greatest, all things New England